Ooh. All right. Hey. How are y'all doing today? Happy Monday, everyone. Welcome to Love Tips and Velvet Lips. I am Marla Renee Stewart here live on YouTube, on Twitch, and live on the gram. So thank you all for joining me today. If you have a question, please feel free to drop it in the chat. Or if you want to send it anonymously, you can send that to qrco.de/LoveTipsAMA, and I'll be happy to answer that question for you when I get a chance here. If you want to know what the schedule is, I just put out the schedule for almost the rest of the year. So I will be doing a couple of workshops, usually 2 to 3 workshops a month. If you are this month, I will be, or tomorrow, I will be doing kissing techniques. So check that out. That's going to be on Tuesday evening, and Bed Death Be Gone for Pride Month, for lesbian bed death stuff. We'll be talking about on Thursday. So please make sure you sign up and check those out when you get a chance. If you haven't gotten your ticket for SDS yet, make sure you get your ticket before the price goes up at the first of the month. You can use my code Marla SDS to get 20% off your registration, and that would be fantastic, right? Who doesn't love a discount, right? We want to see you there. With that said, let's see here. All right, let's get to today's subject, shall we? And the subject today is what strap-on givers really get out of it, right? Because sometimes people are like, oh, I don't understand. Strap-on givers, like, what do they really get out of it? I mean, it's a strap-on. Do they really feel? And yes, some people do really feel like it's a part of them, right? All you need is a little bit of rhythm, some confidence, and really being able to connect, right, to your lover. That's what's important. And so, when we usually talk about like strap-ons and harnesses and dildos and whatnot, we have to think about like how to prep, what they'll experience. We usually think about like the receiver, or what's on the receiving end, right? But it's super, super important for the person who is giving as well, right? So when you wear one, right, it is a whole entire mood, right? So you're exerting your power. It's a lot of times it might be about performance and what you're doing, and then play, right? Being fun with it. And so, once you got a nice rhythm going, it can really be a dream, right? And understand that if you don't feel a physical sensation, that's okay, right? You don't necessarily need to feel the physical sensation, but you have to understand this is a full body experience, right? So when we think about maybe the seduction learning styles, if we're auditory, maybe you're thinking about the sounds and reactions of your lover, right? Maybe you really like to watch your partner's body move and respond to you. You might even be thinking about like the way your harness rubs against your different erogenous zones, right? And then, of course, the whole erotic energy exchange that's happening between you and your lover. And, of course, to feel some sensations, there's some that come equipped with vibrating bullets that you can grind against. There's double-sided. There's all sorts of types. So understand you can actually do feel some pleasure if you're kind of limited in that scope. Okay. So if you want to keep going with the seduction learning styles and what that means, basically, if your partner thrives on sound, right? Maybe you want to whisper some encouragement or get verbal, right? Do some dirty talking about, what you're doing to them or how you'll do it to them. If they're visual, letting them, watch you strap up and, angle them to see your, stroke game in the mirror. If they're visual, right? Maybe positioning a mirror so, they can see everything. If they're tactile, maybe it's, you're taking your time with the tease, right? You're going up against their thigh, maybe their lips, between their cheeks, right before you are going in. Okay. So understand, like, you also have those seduction learning styles. So what are the things you need to ensure that you are feeling good as well, right? When it comes to the strap. And understand that the number 4 thing that I have on here is really about confidence, right? Confidence is a practice. It's not a prerequisite. You do not have to be super confident in order to get it on. But understand it does take confidence. So you can, and here's the thing, there's no kind of right way to do it, right? There's only your way. Okay. Remember the rhythm, the passion, the willingness to learn and adjust are the things that makes it great, right? You can practice with pillows. You can kind of learn your angles that way. You can check in often with your lover. You can laugh when it gets awkward, right? And understand, like, confidence comes from practice. It comes from trying. It doesn't come from the perfection you have when you're doing it, right? And then once you get going, it's even better. Pro tip here, though, I think it's super, super helpful to just wear it when you are going about your day. So not, before anything, but just like wear it during the day, get comfortable with how it moves, how your body moves with it on. And just like when you're, around the house, wearing it so that it becomes less awkward for you. In addition, you'll be more comfortable, you'll feel more comfortable, and you will understand, you'll be more space conscious about your body and its needs and how to move around. Okay. Then there's also, you got to make sure you recover, right? Some aftercare. um, this can be an athletic event. And so, excuse me, aftercare is just not, for the receiver, it is for the giver as well. So understand, it's shared energy. So, maybe you need to hip stretch. Maybe you need to do a cool compress, maybe some protein snacks. You know what I mean? A cuddling debrief, right? A little emotional sesh for you. Or some affirmation that you're a strap on, sex god, goddess, deity, whatever you want to be. But don't think that you don't need that aftercare as well. You do need that aftercare. Okay. It is for you too. So understand, just because you're doing the strap on, it's not about mimicking, cishet dynamics. It's not about pretending. It's about playing with power. It's about engaging in erotic creativity. And it's about, discovering what feels good for you, So whether you're topping from the middle, the back, the side, understand that this kind of play can be deeply affirming and extraordinarily hot. Okay. So go ahead, y'all. Go about it. Strap up, lube up, let pleasure flow in every direction. Giver and the receiver. Okay. So cheers to that. I hope you all understand now that, like, hey, the giver can do some amazing things and feel amazing. And I hope you have an amazing Monday. All right, y'all. As you may or may not know, right? This month has been all about the D, okay? And we have talked about anatomy, we've talked about oral, we've talked about stroking, and today we talked about the strap-on. So With that said, gosh, I can't believe we're going to be moving into July soon. But before we move into July, I think we're going to talk a little bit more about outer course and what that looks like. Um, I got a class that's going to be coming up for outer course. So please make sure you check out that schedule. You can go to velvetlipsexed.com/calendar to check out that schedule, or you can go to pillar.io/velvetlipsexed. That's sex without the E. All right, y'all. I think that's it for today. I hope you have an amazing Monday, an amazing rest of your week, and I will talk to you soon. All right. All right. See you later. Bye.